Right now, the Bihar police are on high alert. They are coordinating raids, executing arrests, and running a massive criminal manhunt across the state. Their primary target is one of the most recognizable and beloved educators in the country, Khan Sir. And they aren't bringing him in for a minor civil dispute. The first information report, the FIR, lists charges under the Arms Act. That is a severe criminal code designed to prosecute violent gang members and illegal weapons dealers. Khan Sir is a mentor who built his reputation through classroom lectures. Now, official police filings link him to street riots, property destruction, and gunfire. To understand how a national icon ended up in the crosshairs of a major criminal investigation, we have to look at how a simple student grievance spiraled into an all-out turf war. The timeline of this escalation starts quietly, right after the release of the recent Bihar police recruitment exam results. Looking at this image from the initial protests, you can see the Hindi text on the banner directly calling out alleged irregularities in those results. Thousands of young applicants felt confused, cheated, and demanded accountability. But these initial, organic demonstrations were only the kindling. By themselves, they didn't have the momentum to tear the city apart. The real accelerant is visible right here. This densely packed street shows Khan Global Studies operating shoulder to shoulder with rival institutes, all aggressively advertising for the exact same Bihar police exams. The competition for student enrollment in Patna is deeply entrenched and completely cutthroat. Those rival coaching centers saw the genuine anxiety of the applicants as an opportunity. They hijacked the movement, using the students' anger as a weapon to sabotage each other's reputations. Within hours, the institutional backstabbing spilled out of the classrooms and directly onto the streets of Patna. Rival factions allegedly began organizing massive crowds, directing angry young men to create targeted chaos outside the doors of their competitors. The protests completely fractured. Mobs began tearing through neighborhoods, smashing windows, and destroying both public and private property. And then, as you can see in this scene of riot police rushing toward the thick black smoke and barricade fires, the situation hit an absolute breaking point. Someone in the crowd pulled a trigger. Gunfire echoed through the streets. The moment live ammunition was introduced, the local authorities immediately dropped their standard crowd control protocols. The response shifted into a severe, aggressive criminal crackdown. That single gunshot elevated a local educational dispute into a state-level emergency. The state invoked the Arms Act, and the search for the instigators began. Which brings us back to Khan Sir. Because of his massive footprint and influence in the Patna coaching circuit, he became the unavoidable focal point of the fallout. Today, his fate is tied to an active, high-stakes police investigation. He has to legally prove his distance from the very violence that broke out right on his institute's doorstep. This manhunt exposes a shift in how these coaching centers operate. In the race for student enrollment, academic competition has crossed over into physical street confrontations between rival factions. Students move to Patna seeking a stable future, but instead they are being drawn into the fallout of these institutional feuds. Their safety is being traded for leverage in a commercial dispute. The pursuit of education in Bihar now shares the same space as an Arms Act investigation. For thousands of students, the path to a government job has become a gamble with their own lives.